Hi guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Karen, and in this video I am going to be showing you the biggest books on my shelves. These are the books that really intimidate me. Some of them I've read, some of them I haven't, and I just remember that I forgot one. Let me be right back. Okay, so now I think I have them all. I'm gonna start off with fantasy, and I'm not gonna mention any of the Harry Potter books because I think that the majority of us own the Harry Potter books, and we all know that the final 3 books are quite big, so I will not be showing those. Okay, so the first one that I have is The Ship of Magic by Robin Hobb. This is the first in a trilogy, but it's actually part of her really big series. Robin Hobb is a very famous fantasy author. She has the series with a bunch of different series within them, and she's created this whole world, and people really love her here on BookTube. She is definitely someone that is considered a master of her genre, and this follows a few characters in a town called Bingtown, and it's got pirates and it's got magical ships that, you know, turn alive. And yeah, I've read I think about 50 pages of this, or I think more like 70 pages, and those didn't grab me. I also think that the fact that I have this horrible mass paperback edition is not really helping, but at some point I will pick up the series because I really want to read some Robin Hobb, but I just have not gotten to it yet. Then the next one is another mass market paperback, and that is Dragonfly and Amber by Diana Gabaldon. This is the second book in the Outlander series, and it's huge. I really like the first book in the Outlander series, but again, read about 120 pages of this and just fell out of love with it. It was becoming a little bit too dramatic, and I know it has so many books, and I'm just like, okay, you can stop writing about them now. So I know that I'm not going to continue on with the series and finish the series at any point, so I kind of became discouraged when it came to continuing on with this, but I don't know if I'm going to give it to someone or if I'm gonna end up reading it, because I did watch the second season of Outlander and I really did like that storyline, so who knows. Then I have The Sweet For Thing by Libba Bray. This is a book that I have already read. This is the third book in the Gemma Doyle trilogy. I really love this trilogy. It's my favorite book series after Harry Potter. It is a Victorian magical novel that follows a girl named Gemma Doyle. She used to live in India, and then she moves to England, and she goes to this private school for girls, and her friends are able to pass to this other magical world, and I just think it's an amazing book. Really great historical fiction, really great story, awesome twist. I love this, and I feel like I need to reread this because I enjoy these characters so much. They're so flawed, and a lot of the times you hate them and you're like, how can you be this mean? But they feel really real, and I think that Libba Bray does a great job in this series. The next one is Testament of Youth by Vera Brittain. This is a non-fiction book about Vera Brittain, who was a young woman during the First World War, and she writes about that time period in her life, and she writes about the women not being able to have the education that they deserved, and then the war really changing their prospects and all of the people that she lost. Is an incredibly difficult book to read. I haven't finished it, and I apologize for the horrible bookmark, but as you can see, I have only read the first part of the book. I've read 248 pages of it, but one of the things that really struck me about Vera and her writing was the fact that even though she was writing this during the First World War, her desires, her dreams, the things she wanted are so modern, and I really connected to her. It was wonderful to read her thoughts on what she was thinking, and I felt that from what I read, she was just extremely honest about things that many people were holding back on. So this is a recommended read, even though I haven't finished it. Then we go to Tolstoy. Yes, I have War and Peace by Leo Tolstoy. which is probably out of all of the books in this video, the one that scares me the most. I am terrified of this book. And I actually read the first chapter and it made me even more scared because I have to continuously flip to the back because there's all these names and all these notes and I don't understand anything. But I feel like Leo Tolstoy is one of those authors that when I do read him, I'm just gonna fall in love with his stories. I really think that he has the potential to become a favorite of mine, and I need to get on with him. I really cannot be intimidated by Russian characters and Russian plots. So there's that. Then I have another Tolstoy, and that is Anna Karenina in this beautiful vintage Russian edition. This is just gorgeous. It's so well made. I think that if you are going to read Tolstoy, then this is the edition that you need to read it in, because these books are huge, but yet they're so beautiful that they seem less intimidating. So we all know what Anna Karenina is about. It follows a bunch of characters. The next book is A Goldfinch by Donna Tartt. This is a book that I have already read and I didn't really like it. You follow this character, his name is Theo. When he's really young, he goes to the Metropolitan Museum with his mom and there is a terrorist attack in the museum while he's there and his mother dies. And he, in the confusion, he actually steals the Goldfinch, which is a masterpiece from the Met. It's actually a real painting and he steals it. And you follow this troubled life and you follow this kid from that moment that happens to adulthood. And Theo's one of those characters that really impacted me. I really cared for him. I wanted him to fix his life. So even though this wasn't like my most enjoyable read, because Donna Tartt just isn't the writer for me, she's too descriptive and I don't really love her writing style, she did really make me care about Theo Decker. And if you are going to be reading this beast, then you should at least care about the main character, and I certainly did while reading it. So I think that this is a good novel, in many ways a perfect novel, and Theo really is at the heart of it, but it doesn't have that specialness that I look for in books, so I'm kind of 50-50 about it, and I know that I will probably never read it again. Then I have this beauty, which I know I will definitely read again, and this is The Crimson Petal and the White by Michelle Favre. This is amazing. This is a historical fiction novel that follows a variety of different characters, but the main character is a prostitute named Sugar, and she's just wonderful. She's an incredible character, and this book is so well written and you are just captivated from that first page. You are sucked into this world. Michelle Favre does such a fantastic job at world building. This really is a masterpiece of a historical fiction novel. I enjoyed it tremendously and I really want to read it again, and the character of Sugar is just wonderful. She's this prostitute that wants to write, and she's just such a complex character and you feel so bad for her, and you really grow to care about her. She's kind of like Theo in The Goldfinch, you know, these lost people that you just want to help. So this is definitely 100% a recommended read for everyone, I think, because this is so good. And you don't really even notice the length because it's actually really fast-paced and the characters are really interesting, so you really are able to fly through this. And finally is Traitor's Gate by Charlie Newton. This is, I think, a romance set in a war zone, maybe? I don't really know. It follows a doomed love affair, I think, between two young people. One is an Israeli woman who becomes a rebel, and yeah, you follow these two people who fall in love, and I think it's political. I think it's talks a little bit about an economic crisis as well, and it's just one of those action political romances, if that's even a thing. Okay guys, so those are the biggest books on my shelf, and yeah, as you can see, I've only read a very small amount of these books that I have just shown you. So thank you so much for watching. I hope that you have a great day, and I will see you soon in my next video. Bye! I honestly have no idea how I'm even gonna make this thumbnail because I don't go to the gym a lot. Whew. That was a mission.